To finish the first lap, and he goes down in turn one, and right here, just as he drove down the corner, he just back end just kept going around.
Pete Orr goes in the corner and loses control. He goes back up the hill and makes that's Tracy Leslie. That's Tracy Leslie in the 11, and Pete Orr make contact and spin. And man, they just took all the options, didn't they, Cal?
Yeah, there's no, right here, if you're back 3 cars, there's no place. These guys on the bottom of the racetrack are doing good, but if you notice, the 2 cars that wrecked spun out of the way, these guys run into each other trying to get out of the way. You know, you've got guys checking up, you've got guys still in the gas, and there's no place for these guys to go. The apron's covered, the racetrack's covered, the grass is covered. All you can do is stop it.
He and Dale sort of
tire, car in the wall in turn 1. It is it is Terry Labonte's car, number 11.
There we go, like Buddy said, there's Earnhardt going above the cars. Here comes Labonte right straight into it. 72 hit.
Just before that, you couldn't see it. Tracy Leslie had Labonte on the right rear quarter over there, and he couldn't turn left because he already had him sliding that, to the right there.
There's Jeff Gordon very high.
You look back just on the very right-hand side, the Rick Mast car and
Terry Labonte.
Yeah. I think Dick Trickle was I think the white car was Dick Trickle.
Yeah, I think you're right.
There he goes down in the grass right down there, yes.
And look at Joe Ruttman coming here in the blue car. He missed everything. How did he do that?
Well, he did a great job. He dug down the inside.
Yeah. Wow, here's what happened there in the heat of the moment. Kenseth inside of both. That's what started it.
Casey Atwood and the 44 of Terry Labonte made a little contact there in the center part of the corner.
Owen Stenhouse squeezes to the outside. And that's Yaley, and that shoved Yaley down. And look at that 78 car upside down, and then lands on top of Ryan Newman's 39 car.
Bobby Labonte involved. So it was Stenhouse, the rookie, trying to go 4 wide on the outside, running.
There we see the 60 car in Chet. Some contact back there. The 3 of them. And then Mike Wallace gets hit the wall hard, and Labonte spins up the racetrack.
Heavy contact by Mike Wallace. Terry Labonte trying to...
This is a battle for 5th place. There's trouble. Labonte spins. Chuck Bounds taken out. Now, Neil Bonnet is involved. Bobby Ellison is involved. Serious trouble up in the 4th turn. 4, 5 cars.
Couldn't see anything of what was going on. 77 car just got loose right there over that turn. The 33 car does an incredible job of avoiding him. He got on the brakes hard, but Terry can't see which way to go. And you see all these guys slamming on brakes coming down through the grass. Phil Parsons almost gets into the 89 car there.
Sometimes in these long runs at Richmond, we see that brake heat that Tim Brewer talked about earlier get to somebody's right front tire.
Yeah, that heats up and it breaks that bead just like Tim's talking about inside that tire.
Starting around on the car. As he comes around, everybody behind him is just a victim.
Except Benson, who is close enough to get through. And you see Sawyer get into Labonte, turn Labonte. And up and over goes LaJoy. Reiser hits the outside wall. So does Pearson. Reiser spins full around, and Labonte goes straight back into the outside wall. Boy. Look at Reiser's car slide after caroming off the infield pit wall. And 6 cars are
coming off turn 4 is when the accident happened. Looks like Jimmy Spencer kind of eased into Terry Labonte on the outside, put both of them in the wall. Terry Labonte had a very hard lick, but he's still in the car right now, but I see him moving around. Yeah, Joe Ruttman had to do some evasive measures to get by, but it looked like Jimmy Spencer didn't. There's another angle. I don't think Jimmy Spencer knew that Terry Labonte was on the outside of him, started coming up the hill, and kind of pinched Terry into the wall. It sent them both into the wall head first.
Ruttman was inside of Spencer at the time, and Spencer came up, Labonte right there. And both cars.
Bringing out the caution flag.
Very top of the screen, we see him coming off the corner, go up, and bam. I'd like the right front tire run over something and cut it, and he went.
And Earnhardt, he gets and wow, into the wall hard, and so is Morgan Shepherd.
And Earnhardt's luck here at the Martinsville run good a couple of times. He could have won Dover right here, lost the motor right.
Oh, he gets turned. Green got him, and here comes the pack.
Big time wreck.
Oh, this is ugly.
There's still flames from Jeff Green's car.
They're still wrecked.
Contact has already been made, and Shepherd and Parsons are spinning, as well as Labonte. There's Labonte, and he's already coming off the wall. He will get contacted again, looks like by Ricky Rudd, as Elliott moves by, Yarborough moves by, and the rest of the lap traffic ahead. So Rudd
Terry Labonte moves up and lets the car number 97 go by, and Rick Wilson tries to dive in the hole, spins Labonte around. He touches the outside wall.
And it looked like that the 22 car of Bobby Labonte, no, that's not
Marlin.
That's the Bobby
car.
Hamilton car.
Yeah, the 20 car.
Dick Moroso's car, the Pileup car, went in the corner and just car went around all of a sudden.
As they come to turn 3. Whoa.
Looked like Blaney might have hooked.
Was that Castle?
Castle, I think it was, and that started that. And then Jeff Gordon gets pounded by Martin Truex Jr. He hit that wall hard, Jeff Gordon did.
Now he...
Oh, I mean, the picture tells the story right there.
He just jacked him up.
And of course, nowhere for Matt Kenseth in the 17 to go. Well, that was ugly.
Tremendous side-by-side racing and a crash. Mark Martin's car lifts off the ground but does not go over. But this crash is going to involve several cars.
You see Hut Strickland in the mud.
It was bound to happen. Blake's speed is damaged badly, so is Rusty Wallace. The Sunoco car of Terry.
Right with him. Well, Dad, you can see him right there. He's going, whoa, man. It looked like he cut a tire because it went up. You could see he had his steering wheel turned, and it was going right into the wall there.
And he started to come into the pits, buddy, after the caution came out, and apparently...
Around and complete. Lap number 24 this time by. And the leader is Supertex. A.J. Boyd. Trouble. It is Kyle Petty's number 7. It sounded like it blew a tire. It's spinning all the way.
Number 44 also down on the inside.
It sounded like a 105 howitzer blasting directly in front of us. Right here is the mouth.
Watch it again. Up there they are together. Look like they're going for the same piece of real estate from that angle.
Oh, man.
Can't hit it much harder than that. And that's right at the part of the racetrack where both of them are trying to, as you said, get the same piece of real estate. Did not work out.
Gets by okay. Of course, it's close, but he gets by okay. Now along comes Waltrip. We remember he goes by okay. Trying to think ahead a little what might have happened with Bobby Allison. See, sometimes, Bill, you're going down these straightaways, and if you're drafting another car, your visibility is limited. You see what I mean? Because you're running in the... Here comes Allison. Obviously, it has been long before this. He must have been surprised. His vision, as they went up the straight, must have been blocked somehow. And that can happen. I mean, you know, you're running 200 miles an hour, but you're maybe only a...
If you looked at the top of that frame...
Yeah, the pipe is up here.
You could see... Well, there's another piece of it, though.
Yeah, he's come out of there. Caught him in the right front. Okay, Derek just spun to try to miss everything.
Here he is, right in the back of these cars here. Same thing happened today, yeah.
Right there on that blind spot. You know, these guys have got that headrest on the right side, and you just can't see in hard into the outside wall.
Man, Kenny Schrader just barely squeezed through, and poor old Terry Labonte had nowhere to go.
Trunk lid, debris everywhere. The rest of the drivers thread their way by. And then, flames.
Almost contact. Thought was that Rusty. Oh, Rusty gets turned down.
Wallace is into the wall. And a big mess. Scott Riggs has crashed. More contact.
Right in front. Oh, man.
Terry Labonte in the 5.
Let's see what strategy he pulls. No, Labonte is sideways but wins the race. Crashes and he wins anyway. How about that? Whoa!
For the restart. Michael Waltrip hit Mark Martin.
Rusty Wallace is involved.
Watch Waltrip almost go by the pace car here. And Robert Presley's car being pushed on pit road. Pace car gas.
Terry Labonte gets hit there by Ricky Rudd. You can see Mike Skinner there in the 31. Bobby Labonte had already gotten sideways in front of this bunch. They were just collecting each other. It's kind of like on a freeway where everybody just starts stacking up when trouble like that becomes a major problem in the corners.
I think the point you made about Wally Dallenbach when he was talking about the oil is key, that same area.
Calm on the radio, surprisingly calm. When asked what happened, he said, well, he said, Big crash in the racetrack.
Huge on the back.
Rusty Wallace
Point
crashes.
leader. Point leader.
Nobody get left back. All this started because...
Is that the Trickle car?
It could be Trickle or Andretti. I'm not. No, there's Andretti. He was. In fact, he went to the high side. Oh, look at the impact there.
Here we come off of turn 2 again. Right there. See, Ward Burton got pushed around by that car, and that's the 4 car.
And he got in the back of Tony Stewart. Of course, Tony Stewart won airborne here.
And it was Ward Burton's car being sideways that blocked up the track for everybody behind him.
Boy, and it gets hit by every car in the field, seems like, and Tony Stewart's car just took a whale of a ride. That must be at least 30 cars in that wreck.
From Tony Stewart's onboard camera.
The lead.
And meanwhile, Ricky Rudd trying to...
Oh, and Earnhardt spins him out.
Man.
And Tony Stewart is involved in the crash, as is Mark Martin, Sterling Marlin, and several others. Dale Earnhardt takes the checkered flag.
He was racing in a tight pack of cars prior to this.
Boy, that's a hard lick, but thank goodness for the safer barrier.
Somebody else up in the wall there. Michael Waltrip.
Okay, there's Terry going around. He makes contact with the 7 car there, Waltrip. Now, what triggered that? I'm not sure.
There were some reports there was oil on the track, and there's Mayfield, pow, right into Waltrip. Trying to run through the smoke. And so 3 cars are knocked out of this race.
In turn 3.
See the 77 car of Blaney very, very high, so obviously something had happened beforehand, and oh man, this all starts there.
I think Terry got hit in the back to start that. Oh, look at that. Man. All 4 wheels off the ground.
Up in the air.
And I think this all started from the result of McMurray getting sideways when Robbie Gordon drove on the outside of him going into turn 3, and a bunch of cars checked up.
I'm not so sure that Dave Blaney didn't have a tire go down or something, because he kind of got out of the gas and got
fun coming through the S's.
And we see that tire go flat, just exactly as you said, Ned. That's backed it in the bank.
And you know what? The 7 car was slowing down, coming in the pits. 31 checked up, 97 ran into him.
Yep. Shot right across in front of Terry Labonte. Watch the back of this. Dale Jarrett, top right of your screen, going to come through the smoke, head for pit road.
There's a lot of wrecking going on there, Dale. I'd be careful on pit road if I were you. The racetrack
Number 21, Hutch in that white and blue car, and Terry Labonte in the 5.
You can see that Elliott Sadler got in the back of Hutch Strickland just a little bit. He made contact into the 5 car of Terry Labonte. That set it off.
There's Tony Stewart. And somehow the 26 car of Todd Bodine makes contact with the 5 of Terry Labonte. Look at all these cars coming down pit road. Never see Michael Waltrip's car up against the outside retaining wall. And Terry Labonte, I guess, has hit Michael's car, would you think?
I believe so. I believe he hit the 7 car.
Let's take a look.
The 22 is actually up on the apron and hit the 51 car.
And from there it was on.
Yeah, well, once you're in a situation like this, you're just trying to look for a hole.
And Kurt was just trying to get stopped behind it.
Yeah.
He didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah.
At least a broken collarbone. Another look.
Well, you can see the 28 and the 4 car touch, and the 4 car gets into the right rear of Earnhardt, shoots him right straight into the wall. Earnhardt's car gets on its roof, gets hit first by Derek Cope, and then the car 33 of Robert Presley comes along and hits him as well. And lots of other cars get involved. Simply nowhere to go. When you got that many cars running at that speed, that was the fastest part of the racetrack. When they came just past the start-finish line, well, there's going to be some big damage, and there certainly was.
He was right behind Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And right there you saw it as he went into the turn and just shot him right up into the wall.
Well, there's Dale Jarrett right there. As they head off in the corner, he goes down on the flat part of the racetrack.
He might have had a little bit of a bump from the 28 car, his teammate, as they went in there.
at 190 miles an hour. It's almost impossible for the brakes to slow the car to miss the incident. You steer for the hole and hope it's still there when you get there.
Boy, that track closed up in a hurry. When one car spun, as close as they were running together, they had to.
Yes, there's the tail.
An event from a pizza oven, and there's been.
And there's a spin. There's trouble.
Upside down. Schrader. Like Schrader's number 25, side over side, end over end. Another car in trouble and also getting airborne.
Terry Labonte is involved. His car spinning around on the grass. There is Elton Sawyer spinning around. Rusty Wallace there. There's Lake Speed. There's Rick Mann.
And involving the same group of cars. This is a crash that took place.
Wow. Well, here's a Terry's problem.
Yep.
You see Kyle's trying to sneak through, and he has to tick off the wall.
End of the line, and he spins. I guess the right rear tire goes down. He spins, goes around, goes up, and smacks the wall just barely with the right front.
Terry's inside of Rick Mast.
The back end of the car just starts around right there. Kurt Busch on the brakes really hard in that green car, and Terry spins right off turn 2, right into the inside wall.
Don't know.